dim the lights, let go of the day, and slip into something a little more honest. You're listening to Why Is It So Hard with Lizzie and Nash, where things get deep, raw, and just a little dangerous.
Hey, beautiful humans. Welcome to the very first episode of Why Is It So Hard, the podcast where we talk about all the things we've been told not to say out loud, the things that feel awkward, vulnerable, scary, and sometimes really hot. I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Nash. And in this first episode, we're digging into the question that inspired this entire podcast. Why is sex still so damn hard to talk about? Why is something so natural, something that literally creates life, still so full of shame, secrecy, and so taboo?
We're unpacking the roots of sexual shame, the cultural silence around pleasure, the emotional and psychological blocks people face, and how we can start breaking them down one brave conversation at a time.
So when we say sex is taboo, we don't just mean people blush at the word orgasm. We mean the entire system that teaches us to be quiet about desire, to fear our bodies, to hide our kinks, to feel guilty for needing touch.
Taboo means we learn about sex through porn instead of real conversations. We don't know how to say, I don't like that, or I want more, or I don't know what I like, or I haven't felt anything in months and I'm scared to say it out loud.
Taboo turns sex into a secret, and secrets sometimes turn into shame.
So let's talk about roots. This shame didn't start with you. It's cultural, religious, generational, systemic.
You might have grown up with sex is for marriage. Good girls don't do that. Boys can't be sensitive. Masturbation is dirty.
Ew.
Desire is dangerous. Kink is perverted.
Yep.
Or talking about sex is so inappropriate.
All of those messages live in our bodies. Even if we don't believe them anymore, they're still there. In our hesitations, our silence, our disconnection, our self-judgment.
And we carry that into relationships, into sex, into how we see ourselves. We don't ask, we don't explore, we don't feel safe, even with people we love.
Here's what taboo looks like in everyday life. You've been with your partner for years, but never told them you've never had an orgasm. You feel guilty for watching porn.
Oops.
You want to try something new in bed, but can't bring yourself to say it. You've never seen your own genitals with curiosity or love. You think there's something wrong with you because your libido has changed. You fantasize about things you were taught are bad, and it both excites and terrifies you.
Sound familiar? Yeah, us too. Sex isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, cultural, which means sex is never just about sex.
It's about worth, power, safety, identity, control, intimacy, surrender. No wonder it's so complicated.
Taboos don't just create shame, they create disconnection from our bodies or our partners, our own desires, and even our own truths.
When we don't talk about sex, we fake orgasms, we shrink our pleasure, we stay in sexless relationships out of fear or habit. We treat sex like a duty instead of a dialogue, and we silently carry questions we've never dared to ask.
And we don't explore what we're curious about. That silence is where disconnection grows, and disconnection is where intimacy dies.
So, how do we break the silence? How do we move from, I can't say that, to, let's talk about it?
We start with tiny, brave steps like saying, I'm curious about whatever, or saying, this feels hard to talk about, but I want to try, or listening to a podcast like this with your partner, or exploring your own body with curiosity and not judgment, or maybe even asking yourself, where did my beliefs about sex come from, and do they still serve me?
We start by realizing that pleasure is not shameful, that fantasy isn't failure, that not knowing is okay, that wanting more is normal.
And we start by replacing silence with language. Not perfect words, just honest ones.
So, what are we doing here on Why Is It So Hard? We're building a space where sex is not a secret.
Nope.
Desire is not a dirty word. Vulnerability is a strength. And every part of you, Your kinks, your fears, your numbness, your fantasies is welcomed.
We'll be talking about things like healing from sexual shame, the truth about desire in long term relationships, oral sex, toys, of course, taboos, bisexual awakenings, rebuilding your sex life after trauma, erotic communication, sex when you're tired, grieving, confused, or growing, and so much more.
And we'll be laughing a
A
lot,
lot.
asking real questions and reminding you that you are not broken. You're just unlearning the things you want to unlearn.
So if sex has felt confusing, distant, disappointing, or even scary, you're not alone.
We're here to help you explore, get curious, speak up, and maybe even turn those awkward silences into deeper pleasure, deeper connection, and deeper knowing of who you are.
Because it's not too late to feel free, or sexy, or safe, or honest. It just takes one conversation, one breath, one step toward your truth.
And that step starts now. Welcome to Why Is It So Hard? We're glad you're here and we hope you tune in to follow up episodes. If you have any questions or a comment, just email us at lizzieandnash@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
Until next time.